Scatoosh, Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming. We're going to talk Zendikar Rising, 25 most valuable, expensive cards in the set, all the way from 25 to number 1. And maybe what makes them so powerful. What makes these cards worth so much money? What is going on with them? Also, I need you to keep in mind this list, these prices were put together one day after the last spoiler was released. So expect these prices to change over time, especially when the set officially drops and cards begin hitting players' hands. Let's go. So all the way at the bottom, baby, number 25. I was kind of shocked this card was at $4.24, and also surprised that the least valuable card right now is $4.24. Usually when I do a top 25, like we're down to like $1.50, $1.80, $2, for the very bottom, but $4.24. The top price you see here is going to reflect the base card, the normal, and then the price below it will reflect the showcase or extended art version of that card. I did not include the price of foils, but I did do these two. So here's a Nighthawk Scavenger. It's a pretty slick creature, though. It's got flying, death touch, lifelink. I mean, yikes. And Scavenger's power is equal to 1 plus the number of card types among cards in your opponent's graveyard, which is pretty legit. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good card. I like the art of that. It reminds me of like crazy, like insane clown killer or something like that, Really, really legit. Then we have Needle Verge Pathway, Pillar Verge Pathway. These are these new, what are they officially calling them? Flip lands, choice lands. Not sure exactly what these lands are going to be titled yet. But right now it's at $4.25. And you get to pick your poison. What do you want? Do you need a red mana? Go ahead. Do you need the white mana? Go ahead. But the downside, you can't just flip it again, At least not to my knowledge, anyhow. So pretty cool card. The extended art is at $6.05 on these. I think these cards are going to be more impactful than players imagine. The only downside is they're not fetchable. It just says land here in the text. If it would have said land plains, land mountain, we'd probably be looking at much higher prices with these cards. At least double, perhaps. But interesting stuff. Can't wait to see how they pan out. Number 3, we got our Timber Crown Pathway and the Crag Crown Pathway. $4.31, $7.58 for the extended art. Very nice art on these. I mean, everyone's like all up in the branches and trees and on top of mountains and climbing and jumping from one hedron to another. It's insanity. The art is really neat in this set. Here's a cool one. Drana, the Last Blood Chief. It's a mythic. The cheapest mythic. $4.76. Or maybe I think there's a few other mythics that are cheaper, but the cheapest one that made this list. And the extended art is $11.67. Just for example, like that $11.67 is not going to hold up. It's probably going to drop down to like $5, upon actual release for the extended art version. But nonetheless, really, really neat card. The Last Blood Chief attacks. Defending player chooses a non-legendary creature card in your graveyard. You return that card to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. The creature is a vampire in addition to its other types. I really like this one. It's a 4/4. This is the third coming of Drana now, I believe. There was a lot of hype around the one in Battle for Zendikar. And it did perform a little bit, but it definitely did not perform as players were expecting it to. This one, it's a 5-drop. It's kind of steep, but the fact that you get something back from the graveyard right to the battlefield and a +1/+1, that's legit. Making it a vampire too is just a plus, I guess, depending on what you're trying to do. Then we got ourselves for $4.91 a Myriad Shattered Skyclave. This is the cheapest version of these mythic lands, or not version, but cheapest of the cycle. And a Myriad Call. 7-drop, create 2 4/4 white angel warrior creature tokens with flying non-angel creatures you control. Gain indestructible until your next turn. The really cool thing about these, it's situational, man. What do you need? What do you need right now? Is it late game? Sweet, you got yourself a sorcery. Is it early game? Cool, you got yourself a plains. You got yourself some white mana and a land. So I think that's really, really neat that they made these cards, and I do expect all these probably to hang around the price they're at. There's probably not going to be too much movement on these lands, but I mean, time will definitely tell how much play these actually see. I think It's good. You get some angels out there, and your creature's gaining indestructible to your next turn. It's pretty good, guys. I mean, these lands are powerful. They do cost, or the sorcery on the side, it's 7 to bring that out. But again, late game, man. And at worst, these are going to see a heck ton of play in Commander and whatnot. So very, very interesting stuff. Love the art. Lotus Cobra. Now, I did not show all the showcase for all the cards. You're going to notice that rather soon here, or any extended art, really. But some of them, like the Lotus Cobra, I really wanted to show. That's completely different style art that we've seen. Like the little lotus, the black lotus here going on, or, well, it doesn't look black in this picture, but it is what it is. It's a lotus nonetheless, not a black lotus, just a lotus. So this is Lotus Cobra. It's been around for a while. Got the reprint 523. This version's 903, and of course expect it to go down a little bit, but I just don't want to repeat that anymore. So just understand prices will drop. So yeah, a 2-drop that is going to love your landfall. That's what this card's all about. Ramping up landfall. Have some fun with it. Bada bing. We'll see competitive play for sure. Lava Glide Pathway and River Glide Pathway. Again, your choice. Which mana do you need? You can get access to it. $5.41, and the extended art is $7.42. I wonder what these prices are all going to be. Of course, a month, maybe not a month, maybe 2 weeks after set release, I will make a video again. So just hang out on the channel until then. It's like about a month away. But yeah, that way we get a better understanding where the prices are, once we understand the meta, how these cards are fitting in, where else we're seeing play. I think it's cool to go back and do a second video on all this. All right, moving along, really cool cards. Shatter Skull Smashing. Now, these cards, these mythic ones, I chose not to for the rest of this video. You're not going to see the land side of the art because they're all the same, whatever color it is. Pay 3 life, and you can get that land at that time. But yeah, we are missing out on the art, so my apologies for that. But Shatter Skull Smashing is pretty slick for X and Deuce. Smashing deals X damage divided as you choose among up to 2 target creatures and or planeswalkers if X is 6 or more. Smashing deals twice damage divided as you choose among them instead. This one I definitely expect to go down in price. Where it's going to be, it's hard to say. Like a month after, release, I'm assuming the extended art version is probably going to be like around $8, $7 or something, maybe even less than that. And this version is going to be like 2 or 3. But again, time will tell. I like to go back and watch these videos too because it's like, was I right? Was I wrong? Was I way off? Because it's anyone's guess really what's going to happen with some of these cards. Angel of Destiny 5-drop. This one can win you the game, which is pretty cool. And I mean, it's not going to be that simple. We already seen a Johnny Planeswalker who did something similar, not exactly win the game, but closes it out really quick. You just minus his 0 for the loyalty ability. And if you have 35 life or more, you're exiling all your opponent's non-land permanents, which is really, really cool. It was not the easiest thing to ultimate. I've done it. I'm sure a lot of you have as well. If you play with the card, it's inevitable if you're running a lot of life gain. But this one's really neat. Flying double strike. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each gain that much life. So it's like you both got lifelink, At the beginning of your end step, if you have at least 15 life more than your starting life total, each player, Angel of Destiny attacked this turn, loses the game. I want to see a match where Angel of Destiny just wins the game in Commander and kills everybody in one turn. You know how you can take another combat phase, there's another additional combat phase after this phase. Just swing at the other person, do it again, swing at that person, and the initial person you attacked, and game over. I want to see that somewhere. Maybe I'll get a bunch of friends together and do it. Who knows? Interesting card, to say the least. Nahiri, Heir of the Ancients. All right, it's a 4-drop. One thing I do want to note, I would have liked to have seen more equipment in this set. We did see quite a few, but mostly like an uncommon, common. I think there might be a 1 or 2 rare, but nothing really that is like too overpowering or amazing. You would think they would have at least included some really busted equipment. Not that there isn't stuff that's all right in the set, but just something over the top, like we've seen from Throne of Eldraine. That was some very powerful equipment, and I thought we were going to see that in this set, but not exactly. But we got some really cool artifacts, that's for sure. This one should be a lot of fun. The +1s were definitely legit. Create a 1/1 white court warrior creature token, and you may attach an equipment you control to it. So yeah, those heavy equipment costs don't really matter to equip. You're just going to attach it to it. It's -2. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You reveal a warrior equipment card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then the -3. Is it good? Heir of the Ancients. Deals damage to target creature planeswalker equal to twice the number of equipment you control. If you're running this, you have to run a lot of equipment. I would say at least 12 copies of equipment in your deck would probably make sense, if you're really trying to take advantage of, and I hear it here, at least 8 maybe. I mean, something. You got to have a lot of equipment to use her perks and everything. Then we have Murkwater Pathway, Clearwater Pathway. I believe this is the most valuable of these lands from this set. $6.13 and $8.25. Pick your poison. What do you need? Blue or black? Cool for Demir. Seagate Restoration, 7-drop, $6.31. $9.94 for the extended art. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand, +1. Huge perk. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. I do like that. Or you can pay 3 life and you can use the land side of it. So legit. What else we got here? Jace Mirror Mage. Just when I was interested to see where the value is at. $7.63. That's realistic. This, a lot of people were disappointed. They're like, God, man, that doesn't do a whole lot. Maybe it does do a whole lot and you're just underestimating it. And there is some pretty neat synergy already that people have been talking about. For 3, drop them, kicker for 2, and then Mirror Mage enters the battlefield. Jace, if it was kicked, create a token that's a copy of Jace, Mirror Mage, except it's not legendary, and its starting loyalty is 1. So essentially, you can keep making more and more copies of Jace, which is fun. Scrying for Deuce, that's good. It's +1. You scry 2. Knowing where stuff is at is huge. Filtering through the top of your deck is very, very important. So you can make sure you have the right play or the right answer for whatever situation. And then 0, draw a card and reveal it. Remove a number of loyalty counters equal to that card's converted mana cost from Jace Mirror Mage. Card draw is a good thing too. That was not that impressive though. But because you can make so many copies, we'll see how it pans out. We'll see how it pans out, guys. Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. Love the art on this one. 5-drop, $8.77, extended art, $17.02. It's a good elemental. Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. And the non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. They're still affected by summoning sickness, yeah. So if you drop that land this turn, it's going to be affected by summoning sickness. Can't just come out with haste. I'm surprised they put affected by summoning sickness in the text there, because I haven't really heard too much of that or seen it on a card in a while. But trying to explain that to a new person, no, it doesn't have haste, it doesn't have this. Like, they don't like, it's always the one thing that people struggle with is understanding when the card first drops, unless it says haste on it, it's affected by summoning sickness. They're like, what? I don't even know what that means. Well, okay. Well, it just can't do anything that turn, unless, it just can't do anything that turn. Can't swing in at least, but yeah. Interesting card. We will see. The star's back. I like seeing the stars on the cards. It feels like it's been a while since we've had that. But 1702, 877. It's a 5-drop, kind of steep. Probably going to stay around this price, but this is probably going to drop a little bit. Maybe it'll drop to $5 and $10, respectfully. Torn Timber. I said this card would be one of the more expensive in the set. And it's up there. I think we're in about the top 15 now, top 10. 7-drop sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. I want to say library. I'm always hearing people say, you said berry. Why'd you do that? Library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield if that card has converted mana cost 3 or less. If there's with 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it, put the rest in the bottom of your library. In a random order. Not the most impressive thing in the world, what it's doing, but the fact that, it's pretty cool. But the big thing that stands out is the land side. Do you need the land? No? Well, then go ahead and use the sorcery if you are there already. And this is something you can do as early as turn 4 in the right shell, ramping up to it. So, get some nasty, devastating creature on the battlefield and have at it. And if you miss and only get a 3-drop or less, that's cool too, because that 3-drop gets pretty big. 3 +1/+1 counters on it. So, fun stuff. I like it. is cool. Art is awesome. The Awakening, another one. I got to have all these. I want them all in foil, all extended art. Got to have them all, baby. Yeah, X and 3, $9.47, $14.62. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that each have a different converted mana cost. X or less. Okay, that is going to happen. It's a cool card. I mean, we've seen stuff similar to this before, but this just makes it these situational, lands or sorceries. I don't know. What do you... I give my thoughts all the time. I really want to hear from you guys where you think the price of these are going to be on these lands. Are they going to go up? Are they going to stay the same? They're going to drop. Odds are they're probably all going to drop a tiny bit unless one of these lands really, really shines, in some other deck, maybe a modern, maybe Commander. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to show up. Standard, you're going to see that. These are all going to be playable everywhere. I think there's some formats more so than others for the competitive variety, Neat card. Here we go. Omnith Locus of Creation, 4-drop. $10.76 and $20.15. Yeah, buddy. This thing's a powerhouse. When it enters the battlefield alone, you get to draw a card. But keep in mind, it's 4 different mana. So, to make sure you hit that, or to make sure, it's going to be hard to make sure you hit that turn 4, I'll say that. I'm sure we'll see someone drop this turn 3. Like, what? Come on, man. How did you get that lucky with all your lands, But the landfall ability on it is really cool. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life if this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn. If it's the second time, you get to add 4 mana. If it's the third time, Omnith deals 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker you don't control. That is dirty. 4/4. I am pumped to see when it has every color of Magic where it's missing the black. And that's going to be the next one they pump out. Maybe within a year or two, we'll see that. So pretty cool. Powerful card, man. Right there. There you have it, my friends. Scourge of the Skyclaves, Deuce Dropper. I was surprised by this price. This thing's either going to tank like crazy, all right, or it's going to maintain this price. I don't think there's too much room. It's either going to drop to like, a buck or two or something, or it's going to stay pretty high. When you cast this spell, if it was kicked for the 5 plus the 2, each player loses half their life rounded up. Its power and toughness are each equal to 20 minus the highest life total among players. More star stuff. I like it. So this one's definitely one to keep an eye on. Nissa of Shadowed Pose. $11.33. 1972 for its extended art, or I think showcase art. Neat card here. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control. Put a loyalty counter on Nissa of Shadow. Per +1, untap. Target land you control. It becomes the other Nissa. You may have it become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste and menace until end of turn. It's still a land. Oh, gosh. Nissa. Golgari is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Y'all better just watch out, man. It's -5. You may put a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. That's legit. And it doesn't take too much to even ultimate that, I like that they kind of nerfed the ultimate on Planeswalkers recently. Maybe in the last, some of them not so much. Like Ugin, for example, But it seems it's easier to get to that ultimate, and it's almost not an ultimate anymore, It can be very game-changing nonetheless, but -5, you're 1 away from hitting that, and they made just a pretty decent, ability on it. It's strong, without a doubt. But before, when you would hit the ultimate, it would be like, let's say it had 4 starting loyalty. You'd have to get to like 7 or 8, or maybe 9 or something, in order to hit that ultimate. And it was basically game over at that point. So I think they're doing a good job with the Planeswalkers. 1133, 1972. Forsaken Monument. Baby, we got to be in the top 5. We got to be close. It's a 5-drop. That's right. This artifact is stupid. This reminds me of a duck back here. Anyone else? A little quack action going on there, Donald Duck just like, man, I'm so sad today. Or he's just, washing his hands in the sink. He looks like he's washing his hands in the sink. Pretty cool. 1192, Forsaken Monument. Colorless creatures you control get +2/+2 whenever you tap a permanent 4 colorless. Add an additional colorless. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, you gain 2 life. I like this card a lot. I don't know how much it's going to do in standard. Actually, it could do a heck ton. I just think we need some more support for this card right now in Standard. We have some decent stuff. Some good things are rotating out, but I think it's legit, man. $16.10. I thought that was kind of low, to be honest, and $11.92, but it's not proven yet. I just know it's going to see. If you're running colorless, this like in like Commander or something, you're playing this card in your deck. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. You're doing it wrong. So there you go. So yeah. All right, moving forward. Great card. Seagate Stormcaller. This was one I was like, wow, that is really good. It's going to be a pricey one. It's a 2-drop, kicker for 5, human wizard, $12.12 and $17.19 right now. When Seagate Stormcaller enters the battlefield, copy the next instant or sorcery spell, converted mana cost 2 or less. You cast this turn when you cast it. If Seagate Stormcaller was kicked, copy that spell twice instead. You may choose new turkeys. What is a turkey? New targets for the copies. Deuce 1. Yeah, that is one dirty girl, man. You're going to be copying spells left and right and punishing your opponent. I expect this thing to have some combos going off. You know, it's going to be fun to see what she's capable of doing. And that artwork is beautiful. Absolutely love it. And we have Leyline Tyrant. I'm happy to see a really cool dragon. This one is legit. I was wrong. I want to say that right now. I can't believe I was wrong, but I was wrong. I would have thought the mana would have phased out at the end of your turn, you know, but no, sorry. It just goes into like a mana bank, you know, which I think is nuts. It's cool though. So it's a 4/4 to bring out flying. You don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end. When Tyrant dies, you may pay any amount of red mana. When you do, it deals that much damage to any target. It seems like you could win the game with this kind of easily. You know, just saying. That's, yeah, I don't see, yeah. It looks like you're going to win the game pretty simple. I wanted to see this card comboed with that other one. What was it, Combustion or something like that? It's that 6-drop enchantment that triples the damage. What? You know, put that with this. I mean, already you're dealing 12 damage if that's on the field. But then again, if you have that thing resolved on the field, you're probably going to win the game anyway. Really cool card, this Tyrant. I do expect it to see this price. It's probably going to go up, you know, and plus it's non-legendary, so pretty legit, man. Love it. Then we have ourselves Morag, Fury of Akuma. I was shocked. This one was so high at $14.82. I thought it'd be one of those at the $7-8 range, but man, who knows? It's a 6-drop. It does some really interesting stuff here. Each creature you control gets a +1/+0 for each time it has attacked this turn. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. At the beginning of that combat, untap all creatures you control. Yeah, it's a dirty card, man. I'm probably pumped to play those in Gruul or something like that, but really, really neat. 6/6. That, wow. Yeah, you should be able to rack up damage really quick with this thing. Talk about just being like a force to be reckoned with. And the art's on it is pretty neat, too. I like it. Everything's cool about it, man. 1945. Price could swing. Ancient Green Warden is a 6-drop. That's right. We all wanted that nasty elemental. It looks like we got it because I think this is the most expensive in this set. You may play lands from your graveyard. All right, that's cool. It's got reach. It's a 5/7. If a land entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. That's dirty. That's nuts with landfall. Probably going to be the first deck I make is Landfall. I just hope not everyone and their mom is doing it, because I'm sure they will. But, yeah, definitely. When the ruins awakened, so did their defenses. I like that. That's beautiful. Sweet card. You know what was next. We all know it. Lithoform Engine is a 4-drop. Nasty card. 21/17, 26/87. For Deuce, tap it, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. This thing just has so many awesome abilities on it. For 3, tap it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. You got to think about that, though. When you're copying it, you know, it's like actually on a stack, you know, and then you got to like pay the 3 in order to do this, you know. So you have to pay that casting cost plus play the 3 here. So, I mean, there's a lot of mana that's going to go into this for it to work. Is it going to be good in Standard? I don't know. Are we going to see it played in Standard competitively? I don't know. Probably in some build, you know. For 4, tap it, copy target permanent spell you control. Whew. Very dirty, guys. Very dirty. Notice it says spell. So land's being cast. It's pretty nuts. Lithoform Engine. I like the art on that. This is chaotic. Reminds me of something. Probably myself. 26, 87, 21, 17. I think this one's going to drop a little bit, and then it's going to swing back up. I'm pretty sure that's where it's headed. So those are the 25 most valuable Zendikar Rising cards. What do you guys think? What do you think? Let me know. I'm pumped for this. And we're not that far away from the set dropping on Arena. It's going to be really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, by all means, let me know in the comments. Maybe. Leave a like, too. It helps out. Thanks, guys. I'm Joey Moss. Bad Boy Gaming. Go skadoosh yourself. Making up for teenage crime. Making up for teenage crime.